Hi, welcome to our science class. Are you ready to learn something new today? Today's topic will be talking about the atmosphere, its composition and layers. I am Miss Jessica Luis Galatera, your Science 7 teacher. Before we start, here are some questions that will guide us throughout our discussion. First, how does the atmosphere work to protect our Earth? What functions do the compositions and layers of the atmosphere of the Earth serve to living things? And lastly, how important is the presence of air to life? Many scientists believe that the Earth has excellent conditions to support life. Among the planets in the solar system, the Earth is the only planet with an atmosphere that can sustain life. So, what's so special with the atmosphere of the Earth? Nearly 150 million kilometers separate the Sun and Earth, yet solar radiation drives Earth's weather. Man tends to take air around him for granted. However, like other essential resources, man cannot live without air. This blanket of air that surrounds the Earth, capable of supporting life, is called the atmosphere. The atmosphere is a thin layer of air that protects the Earth's surface from extreme temperatures and harmful sun rays. The composition of the atmosphere is mostly of air. Air is a mixture of several colorless, odorless, and tasteless gases held by the Earth's gravity. The gases that compose the atmosphere have important roles to play in the existence and function of all living things. What makes up the atmosphere? The atmosphere consists of several different gases. These gases are nitrogen, which is 78%, oxygen, which is 21%, argon with 0.3%, carbon dioxide, which is 0.03%, and some other gases, which comprises of 0.07%. Let's take a look into the main gases that comprises our atmosphere. First, we have nitrogen. Nitrogen is the most abundant gas in the atmosphere. It is a stable gas, which means it does not enter into any chemical combination easily. Next, we have oxygen. Oxygen is the second most abundant gas. It is very important because living things take in oxygen during respiration. Photosynthesis contributes to the oxygen content of the atmosphere by releasing it as a byproduct. Argon. This is an inert, colorless, and odorless gas that only makes up about 1% of the Earth's atmosphere. Since argon is a noble gas, it is not very reactive. What are the other compositions of the atmosphere? Aside from gases, moisture and particulate matter like salt particles, pollen grains, spores, and microorganisms are also present in the atmosphere. Okay, so now that we have identified the various composition of the atmosphere, let's take a look on its different layers. The atmosphere is divided into 4 distinct layers, and each layer is characterized by temperature, chemical composition, movement, and density. The first layer of the atmosphere is the troposphere. It is the lowest layer, extending up to 8 to 10 kilometers high and the nearest layer to the Earth's surface. The troposphere is also the densest layer, which contains approximately 75% of the atmosphere and almost all the water vapor and aerosol. Here in the troposphere, clouds of all types and weather are formed. In the troposphere, as the altitude increases, the temperature drops significantly from about 17 degrees Celsius to 52 degrees Celsius. The next layer after the troposphere is called the stratosphere. This layer is directly above troposphere, extending to about 50 kilometers above the Earth's surface. The upper layer of the stratosphere contains high levels of ozone. Ozone is an unstable bluish gas composed of 3 atoms of oxygen. The ozone gas makes up the ozone layer, which is vital to Earth. This is because the ozone layer absorbs ultraviolet rays and transforms it to heat. Strong, steady winds, absence of clouds and vapors, and a warm temperature characterize this layer. That is the reason why many jets and aircrafts are suited to fly here. Going up the stratosphere, we have the mesosphere. The mesosphere extends from the top of the stratosphere to about 85 kilometers above Earth. The mesosphere is the coldest layer with little ozone. Since it is the coldest layer, meteors or rock fragments that enter the Earth's atmosphere burn up in this layer. Next is the thermosphere. The thermosphere is the thickest atmospheric layer found between 85 kilometers and 600 kilometers above Earth's surface. Have you ever heard of the auroras or northern and southern lights? Well, they happen to occur here in this layer because of its high temperature. Having said that this layer is warm, it filters out X-rays and gamma rays from the sun. The ionosphere, or the layer of charged particles, is located here. It is important because it helps carry radio waves to Earth. Outside the 4 layers of the atmosphere is where the exosphere can be found. This is the upper limit of our atmosphere. This is the outer layer of the Earth's atmosphere where space shuttles and stations orbit. To conclude everything we have learned today, here are some keynotes you should remember. First, the atmosphere is the blanket of air that surrounds planet Earth. The atmosphere has the right amount of air suitable for living things. The atmosphere is composed of different gases such as nitrogen, oxygen, argon, and carbon dioxide. The atmosphere is divided into 4 major layers: the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, and thermosphere. Each layer has different characteristics and functions. Thank you for watching! If you want to know more about the different atmospheric conditions, watch the next video.